This is one of the most haunted dolls in the world. Hi Crypt Keepers, thank you for tuning in to AmysCrypt. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most haunted dolls in the world, Letta Me Out. I recently had the chance to actually meet Letta Me Out, and I've been so excited since and just on cloud nine, and I really wanted to share that experience with you all, what it was like to hold Letta Me Out and just have a little cuddle with one of the world's most haunted dolls. But I also wanted to give you the backstory and history on what makes this doll so haunted. Letta's story begins back in the 1970s in a rural Australian town known as Wagga Wagga. It was here that a young man named Kerry Walton became very inquisitive of this old abandoned house that he grew up around and had always heard all these stories about, saying that that house was incredibly haunted. So he wanted to go and explore this supposed haunted house. Kerry and his brother ventured bravely into this abandoned haunted house together, which I absolutely love because you guys know I'm all about exploring these types of places. Now, part of the house that Kerry really wanted to explore was beneath it. So more specifically, underneath the floorboards. And what he found in the dark depths of the home's underbelly was kind of disturbing and pretty scary. Initially, Kerry was very shocked and startled by what he saw in the basement. He actually thought that he had discovered the dead body of a child facing away from him towards a corner. So naturally he went down there to see what was up, if he could help, or what this thing really was. And what he found was the doll Letta Me Out. Now at first glance I can kind of see why Letta Me Out is scary to a lot of people, to most people at least, but I absolutely adore the doll. And can you just imagine going down into the basement of an abandoned, supposedly haunted house and finding a doll that looks as wicked as Letta? Anyway, something really urged Kerry to take the doll and to rescue it from this haunted house. And soon after, he actually gave it the name Letta Me Out, or just Letta for short. And that was kind of a joke between him and his brother as they were driving home to Brisbane with the doll. They claimed that the doll looked as if it was moving on its own. So they had it stowed inside of this sack to transport it in the car. And they thought that the doll appeared to be moving every single time a car drove past them and its headlights kind of shone on this sack. So they kind of were just mucking around and saying, "Letta me out," and that's how the doll got its name. After getting Letta home, Kerry's family was understandably a little bit apprehensive about the doll, and that is because the doll's appearance, I mean, this thing looks pretty spooky. But Kerry and his family were soon to find out there's a couple of other things about Letta that make it even spookier. It would seem that Letta could move around unassisted. So people having Letta sit on their lap would claim that the doll would move around on its own. But Kerry was soon to also find little scuff marks all around the floors of his home, as if Letta was rising at night and running around, probably, you know, just getting up to mischief and stuff. That is not the only strange thing people have reported to occur in this doll's presence. A lot of people who come into contact with Letta Me Out have been overcome by strong emotions or the feelings of illness. Some people have even fainted in the doll's presence. Dogs in particular act quite strange around Letta. They become kind of disgruntled and angry. They bark and growl and try to bite or attack Letta. All of this was a little bit concerning to both Kerry and his family, so they decided to call upon a medium. The first time that a medium met Letta, they said that his body was inhabited by the spirit of a very young boy who had died a long time ago by drowning. They also mentioned that the person who had created the doll created it in a likeness of someone who had just died, who was very close to that person and very beloved to that person. So it said that maybe Letta was created in the likeness of this little boy who drowned. And what is most interesting about all of this is that over the years, a lot of clairvoyants, psychics, and mediums have picked up on very close stories. And so that's pretty compelling to know that they're picking up all of these similarities in relation to this doll. Other than just these reports from these psychics, Kerry dug a little bit deeper and got a bit more background information on the Let Me Out doll. So he actually took it to some experts who were able to date the doll as being about 200 years old. And they were able to do that by analysing the nails that sit in the bottom of Letta's feet holding his shoes on. Furthermore, they believe that the doll was handcrafted somewhere in Eastern Europe, maybe Romania in particular, because of the doll's kind of gypsy-like features and appearance. The doll also has a full head of human hair. Seriously, the doll's hair is so nice. It's like way nicer than my own hair. It's really nice, but it gets me thinking and wondering about whose hair is on this doll. Can you imagine someone's hair is on this doll for like 200 years? Now, what exactly this doll was doing in Wagga Wagga, Australia, of all places in the world, underneath the floors of an abandoned haunted house, remains a complete mystery. No one really knows the doll's backstory of how it made it to that place. But I'm very glad that it did, because it meant that it came in contact with Kerry, and I'm super happy that he rescued that doll. And I'm pretty sure he would be too. So part of the doll's legend is that a psychic told Kerry that he would not be able to part with the doll during his lifetime. And that was kind of tested because Kerry set up to sell the doll, and on the day of the sale he got to the place where he was going to sell it to this other person, and something came over him where he just couldn't bring himself to do it. So now he's just fully accepted Letta and treats him as part of the family, really. It's actually kind of like a little bit sweet. Now, I am so lucky because Kerry recently brought Let Me Out down to Adelaide, South Australia, which is my hometown. And as you guys know, I have travelled all around the world to visit the most haunted locations and see the most haunted objects. So it was so nice that something really cool got brought to Adelaide, little old Adelaide of all places in the world, and I was able to meet one of the world's most haunted dolls. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, wow, Amy, why the heck would you want to meet such a scary doll? But I'm here to tell you, I don't find Let Me Out scary at all, and nor do a lot of other people. So I think that this is kind of a cool time to remind you guys that not everything to do with the paranormal has to be scary, evil, demonic. You know, there are good spirits out there. And the one inhabiting Let Me Out is actually believed to be one of those good spirits. Now, on top of that, many people actually believe that holding Let Me Out or touching Let Me Out can bring good luck. So that was something that I was especially excited about, because to be honest, guys, I've been having kind of a rough time lately, and the day that I went to meet Let Me Out was particularly hard for me. So I was just keen on meeting the doll and getting a bit of good luck. So what did it actually feel like to meet Let Me Out, the haunted doll? It actually felt kind of nice. I didn't feel scared or put off by the doll at all. I held Letta on my knee. I had a bunch of photos with him. Kerry was super lovely. Like, he made the whole environment there warm and welcoming. It wasn't really a scary thing. Kerry even encouraged me to kiss the doll, and I don't know, like, since he said to do it, I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I gave one of the most haunted dolls in the world a kiss on the cheek. So I'm hoping that that counts for some kind of extra good luck or something. Now, I did observe a couple of other people who were meeting Letta. They were getting their photos taken also with Letta sitting on their knee. And I didn't see anyone have any negative, weird reactions. The most extreme thing that I saw was a little girl refused to be in the family photo with Letta, and I think that was not any kind of feeling she was overcome with, but more just that she was a bit apprehensive to go near the doll because it looked a bit scary to her. But everyone else was just having a great time meeting the doll, and it was a really positive interaction for so many people. Now, weird things that I did notice about the doll is its eyes. It has these very dark glass eyes that seem to follow you around the room. So no matter where the doll was being held or whose lap it was on or what was going on with it, it always kind of looked like Letta was watching you, but not just watching you, just watching every single person in the room. There was also definitely a few people during that time that claimed Letta moved on their lap. And to me, it actually kind of looked like it moved on some people's laps, like mostly its wrist. It has this funny hand, and I must admit its wrists are jointed, so it could have just been natural, you know, movement of its arm and that, but it did look a couple of times like it was just moving around and wriggling on these people's laps. And oh my gosh, I really wish that happened to me. Now I know that I only got a few photos snapped to show you guys, but I hope that you still enjoyed seeing them and hearing Letta's story. I am going to encourage you all to go and follow Letta Me Out over on Facebook. Yes, this haunted doll has its own social media, and I'm going to link them below for you guys to follow. Definitely go check it out. I think the best thing about Letta Me Out's Facebook page is it's updated by the doll in first person, so it's kind of creepy to think about. Like, I just picture this haunted doll sitting at the computer updating their Facebook status or posting a selfie to Instagram or whatever. But it does seem like Letta Me Out is going to be doing a bit of touring and appearances, so I think that that is the best place to be to keep updated on the haunted dolls activity and where you might be able to meet Letta Me Out for yourself. Anyway, I do hope that you guys liked hearing about my experience of meeting Letta Me Out, one of the world's most haunted dolls. It was something I was super excited about, so I really wanted to share it with you guys here on YouTube. If you did enjoy this video though, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you want to do a bit more reading on Letta Me Out, the haunted doll, head to AmysCrypt.com. You guys can also follow me at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching, Crypt Keepers. Until next time.